Hey, what's up guys? This is Dr. Leo with Ever an Athlete, and today we're going to be talking about something that I see in the clinic all the time, and that is Achilles tendonitis or heel pain. Now, while yes, it's super common in athletes who either run or jump, this can happen to anybody, especially if you're somebody who was sedentary and now you're doing a lot of activity, or you've just increased or changed your activity level. But there is good news, guys. There are some super simple exercises and some strategies and interventions that you guys can implement today to not only get rid of that pain, but also keep it away forever. The Achilles tendon is formed from two of probably the most active muscles in your body, which is the soleus and the gastroc. With things like running, jumping, walking, even just standing still like I am right now, they're pretty much active all the time. So you can see how during a whole day or a week or even a month or even years, there is a lot of chances and a lot of opportunity for that tendon to become inflamed and get angry. So the tendonitis in Achilles tendonitis just refers to inflammation of that tendon. And typically what we get is an inflammation where the tendon comes in and actually attaches to the calcaneal bone at the heel. What we want to do now is we want to load the tendon. But because of that tendonitis, that inflammation, we want to make sure that we are appropriately loading it and not causing extra inflammation and extra damage. And so an amazing exercise to start loading that tendon in a safe way is called an isometric calf hold. So what you want to do for this exercise is you want to find yourself either a stool like this, or something, you can stack some books, something that can get your feet off the ground so that your heels aren't touching. So the first thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna find yourself a weight like this, something that you can put on your leg to weight it down. Both feet on the stool, and kind of with the balls of your feet at the edge of the stool. You don't want it to be too far off, because then your toes are the ones curling and doing most of the work, and we don't want that. We want the calf working, we want that tendon, the Achilles tendon being worked. So what we want to do here, put the weight on the affected leg. So for this example, it'll be at the left. And all I want you to do here is I want you to come up to about neutral and then hold it there. So you don't want to be coming up above neutral, and you don't want to be hanging out down here, because that puts a lot of tension on that tendon. So again, start here, come up to neutral, place the weight, and just hold. If that tendon is still pretty irritable while you guys are doing this, I recommend holding between 5 to 10 seconds. And as you progress, you can hold all the way up to 30 seconds. If you guys are able to hold this position with some sort of weight, I have 20 pounds here, for about 30 seconds, that's a good indicator that you are ready to move on to the next exercise. Okay, so the next exercise is simply a progression of the previous exercise with the addition of a little bit more motion. Okay, so you'll go to the step, the stool, wherever you're doing this, and now with a single leg, all you're doing here is you are coming now all the way up and all the way down. If you don't have a weight like this to put on your leg, you could always use the pressure of your own hands to make it more difficult or make it easier. What I want you guys to think about here is pulling your heel up into your calf. If you do this by pushing your toes down, you might be activating some muscles that we don't want to use in this exercise. And so I really want you guys to think about pulling that heel up into the calf. All right, guys, so the next exercise that we're going to be doing is just a double leg calf raise. Okay, so we move from seated to standing, and that is a considerable jump in weight, but because we're doing both legs, we're keeping that tendon relatively safe, and we're keeping it from taking the whole brunt of our weight. If you do have issues with your balance, you might want a chair or something to hold on to while performing these exercises. So you guys have probably done this before, and all you're going to do is come up to the balls of your feet and come back down. All right, the final exercise on this list of progressions is going to be a double leg calf raise to a single leg eccentric lowering. Now that eccentric loading and the lowering of that tendon, the lengthening of that tendon under load has been shown to stimulate a lot of collagen production, which is really what your tendons are made out of. And so this is a really good exercise to build up the strength of that tendon after it's been damaged. We'll set up the same way as we did for the double leg. You're gonna come up on 2 heels, but this time you're gonna take away 1 and lower down just on 1 heel. So again, up on 2 and down, just like that. So there you guys have it, a really good list of progressive exercises that you guys can implement today to not only get rid of your pain right now, but also build up the strength in that tendon so that pain doesn't return. If you guys like this type of content and you found this video helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you guys drop a like, subscribe to this channel, and ring that notification bell so you guys don't miss a single video as they come out. As always, I'll see you in the next one.